Right now at 5, the gunman who opened fire on a South Carolina church, killing 9, has been captured. What's next for Dylan Roof? We take you out live to Charleston with the very latest. Plus, a local connection to the shooting. We hear from one man who knew one of the victims.
Most people stayed away from the church. They don't bother the church, so this is a real shocker.
KCOY 12 Central Coast News at 5 starts right now.
Live from the largest news team on the Central Coast with important local coverage, this is KCOY 12 Central Coast News at 5 o'clock.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Scott Hennessy.
And I'm Paula Lopez. We begin tonight with a tragic shooting in Charleston, South Carolina. 9 people are dead after a gunman opened fire in a Methodist church late last night.
And after a 15-hour search, investigators finally arrested the 21-year-old suspect. Investigators are now looking into this shooting as a hate crime. We have team coverage of this shooting. Nia Wong in Santa Maria, who spoke with a church member who knows a victim. But we begin with Ryan Nobles.
Good evening from Charleston, where the chief suspect in the case of 9 people being senselessly murdered at an African-American church is back in the custody of the Charleston Police Department. Dylan Roof was extradited from Shelby County this afternoon after being on the run for more than 14 hours. The man police say opened fire at an African-American church in Charleston, South Carolina, is now in custody. Police say they caught 21-year-old Dylan Roof at a traffic stop in Shelby, North Carolina, after receiving a tip from a resident.
Through the cooperation of law enforcement, the community, and the media, this suspect was apprehended.
Roof made his first court appearance Thursday afternoon in North Carolina. He waived extradition and is being transported back to South Carolina. Police say Roof spent an hour in a Bible study class at the Emmanuel AME Church Wednesday evening before he opened fire, killing 9 people. President Obama spoke on the tragedy Thursday, making a point to talk about gun control.
We don't have all the facts, but we do know that, once again, innocent people were killed in part because someone who wanted to inflict harm had no trouble getting their hands on a gun.
The Department of Justice has opened a hate crime investigation into the shooting. And we're learning more about the victims. Among them was the church's pastor, the Reverend Clementa Pickney, who was also a state senator.
He was a remarkable human being.
The other victims ranged in age from 26 to 87. Many were respected members of their community, a dedicated librarian, a speech therapist, and another reverend at the church. Prayer vigils were held across the country, from Charleston to Capitol Hill, as law enforcement and the nation search for answers. And speaking of those prayer vigils, they've been popping up all over town over the last 24 hours. And tomorrow night, the mayor of Charleston's called for a citywide prayer vigil for 6 o'clock. That's the latest live from Charleston. I'm Ryan Nobles reporting. Now back to you.
All right. Thank you, Ryan.
Well, Charleston's devastating shooting also hits closer to home for some on the Central Coast. KCOY's Nia Wong spoke to a local minister who knew one of the victims. She joins us live tonight from Santa Maria. Nia.
Paula, I did, and Reverend Will Smith tells me churches like the New Hope Baptist Church here in Santa Maria are typically considered safe havens, just like the churches in the South, which is why he was stunned when his family called him from Charleston, describing the massacre at that historical church. Now, Reverend Smith has also ministered at a nearby congregation in the same city, so he knew churchgoers running in the same circle. He even says he personally has ministered to some of the people killed, including 49-year-old Reverend DePayne Middleton Doctor, who was one of the 9 victims.
And I'm just still shocked that the killer would go into a Bible Belt, one of the most historic cities in the country, and decide to open fire on the people in a prayer service of all things.
Tonight, a prayer vigil will be held here at the New Hope Baptist Church. That starts at 6:30, and all are welcome to attend. Also, stay tuned to our newscast at 6. We'll hear more from Reverend Will Smith and more about the growing tensions in Charleston. Reporting live in Santa Maria, Nia Wong, KCOY 12 Central Coast News.
Neighbors near one busy Santa Maria intersection are urging the city to make it safer after a car hit a woman last night, sending her to the hospital with moderate injuries. KCOY 12's Juanita Adame is live at the intersection with the latest. Juanita.
That's right, Scott. I'm here on the corner of Chapel and College Street. Now, it was just to my immediate left that a woman was found unresponsive last night at about 11 after she was struck by a car. Now, 500 feet down the road over there is the nearest crosswalk, the nearest marked crosswalk. And some of the people that I talked to today told me that even if a crosswalk were to be put here, it probably would not make a difference. Now, police say the accident happened at about 11 o'clock last night. Sergeant Mark Strecker told me that the woman who got hit by the car was wearing dark clothes. She was on her cell phone, but just from standing here a couple of hours, we can tell you that plenty of pedestrians cross this busy road up and down the street, even in broad daylight. Cars are required to stop for those pedestrians, but one man told me that almost never happens.
You're supposed to stop. These people coming down College, and a lot of these people are just whizzing through. I've been down here walking my dogs, people halfway out in the street, and these cars will not stop for them.
Now, the woman was transported to Marion Medical Center with moderate injuries, and like we said, we did talk to people this morning. A lot of those people that we talked to told us that even if a crosswalk were to be put here, they don't think it'd make much of a difference. Live here in Santa Maria, Juanita Adame, KCOY 12 Central Coast News.
All right, thank you, Juanita.
An update now on the breach at Cuesta College. Investigators arrested Lacey Fowler last night. Fowler is accused of hacking into the school's computer system and stealing personal information. Fowler is a human resource analyst who works at the school. School officials first sent out an email alert notifying employees of the breach, and that information was sent to another employee's computer. Fowler was booked into the SLO County Jail. Her bail is set at $10,000.
Santa Barbara County public health officials say the water at the Refugio oil spill site is safe. Water quality testing started just one day after the oil spill, and the most recent sample indicates that ocean waters pose no health risks to people around the beach or in the water. The county health department also says it doesn't foresee any new risks arising because the broken pipeline has been removed and there isn't any more oil spilling into the ocean. El Capitan Beach will reopen on June 25th. Refugio scheduled to reopen July 9th. Cuesta College will be closing one of its pools due to emergency safety repairs. The school says it needs to repair the lining of the pool. The 60,000-gallon pool will be closed indefinitely. The unplanned repair work caused the cancellation of classes and more than 100 swim lessons.
Time now for our first check on the weather. Here now is KCOY 12's Mabrisa Rodriguez in for Jason Stiff tonight at the First Alert Weather Center. Mabrisa.
Good evening, Paula. And yeah, what a great day today to either go to the beach or take a dip in the pool. Absolutely sunsplash day. And in fact, we're still noticing a lot of sunshine out there right now. Currently 67 degrees as we take a live look from our Tempest Gate camera overlooking the Santa Maria Valley. And you can see the wind speeds right now from the northwest at 12 miles per hour. Most areas up and down the coast right now, a lot of sunshine as the sun is starting to set. But we are noticing Lompoc, though, mostly cloudy skies out there right now. So we are noticing some of that June gloom influence right there, but better clearing in San Ynez, currently at 86 degrees. But check out Paso Robles, still flirting with the century mark out there right now. Wind speeds are pretty calm for most areas along the central coast, with the exception of Lompoc, currently 16-mile-per-hour wind speeds, but San Luis Obispo has been seeing gusts of up to 25 miles per hour, currently 21-mile-per-hour wind speeds out there right now. Paso Robles, though, a little calmer, 16-mile-per-hour wind speeds, but we are tracking a mini heat wave that is set to start this weekend, lasting for a good chunk of next week. I have all the details on that in my full forecast in just a few minutes. Paula, back to you.
Okay, Mabrisa, thank you. A forest fire in Southern California that forced several campgrounds to evacuate exploded in size. The San Bernardino fire is now 12 square miles. That's about 90 miles east of Los Angeles. The fire broke out yesterday afternoon. Crews attacked it by using water-dropping planes, but that was not enough. Nearly 200 campers were evacuated from campgrounds. Most of them were children. It's still not clear what started the fire. At last check, it was only 5% contained.
Now that school is out across the Central Coast, summer camps of all kinds are in full swing. That includes the popular annual Lompoc Fire Camp, which concluded today after a 4-day run. The fun-filled camp is open to kids 7 to 10 years old and gives them an idea of what it's like to be a firefighter. Each day, campers get to experience different activities like climbing ladders, rolling hose, spraying water, search and rescue, and rappelling. There is also a serious component to the camp. Kids learn about fire safety and receive information that could someday save their life.
That's what we're trying to get across is what to do in the house if there's a fire, how to have an exit plan, how to check smoke detectors, how to have a meeting place.
It's just really fun and you learn a lot about fires and stuff.
Today was graduation day for the campers who have been attending since Monday. The department usually has 2 camps a year, but this year, due to various constraints, they will only offer this one camp.
The Brian Williams saga continues. Williams is out from the nightly news, but will stay with the NBC family, where he's headed to next.
And move over Alexander Hamilton. A woman is set to be on the next $10 bill. Who will it be?
And then later on, a man rushes into a burning house, but he's no hero. Watch this thief caught on camera next.
Live, Scott Hennessy, Paula Lopez, and meteorologist Jason Stiff. KCOY 12 Central Coast Local News. Live at 5.